morning. So we're ready to get started. I'm just checking the volume. Can you guys hear me okay? You can't hear me because I'm muted. So let's unmute me. How about now? Can you hear me okay? So of course we're here live on Zoom, an interactive class with some of our studio participants who've registered through PunchPass and have made a reservation so that we can be engaging and interactive. And we're also going live on Facebook for those of you that would prefer that option. So we want to just keep it available for everyone and have the opportunity to be in the studio and to be connected to you. So here we are. And it's wonderful to be here with you again. Thursday morning, Energizing Yoga. And the intention for this morning's practice is really sattvic meditation. So sattvic meditation is really a balanced, harmonized mind. Okay? And I have a reading for you that I'd like to share with you from Swami Kripalu. So I'm just going to grab my book. And I invite you to just make yourself at home and comfortable wherever you are. Close your eyes. And just relax. We have some friends watching from afar. We're grateful for everyone's presence this morning. So you may know this book. I've referred to it. I read it daily. It's The Journey Home by John Mandal. And this is a disciple of Swami Kripalu. And so he's taken many darshans and teachings from Swami Kripalu and put them in many books. And this is one book that's a daily devotional, and it's amazing. So every day when I open it and read it, it always gives me exactly what I need for my day. So this was actually, I'm going to read to you yesterday and today. And again, it's about sattvic meditation, and they lean into one another. So that's why I wanted to offer both. So again, just close your eyes and just anchor in your body. Feel your breath. Open your heart. And allow your mind just to slide back into the bowl of your skull, letting go of any identification or attachments to getting anything. Just see what arises and what merges into you. The only purpose for meditation is to have a sattvic meditation. That is a calm, peaceful meditation. If your mind is disturbed, don't sit for meditation because you'll only dwell on your disturbing thoughts. Go do something active like walking meditation or yogic meditation, like yoga practice meditation, hatha yoga. So we should quiet our minds first. And this happens best in solitude. So not being around lots of people, but maybe being in nature. The meditation of a yogi. When we are angry, we are meditating. We're holding on to one thought in a powerful way, and we replay it over and over and over. We're absorbed by it, engrossed in it, and all of the thoughts are forgotten. It consumes us. Similarly, when we're absorbed in any other thought patterns like sexual thoughts or desirable thoughts, we're also meditating. But the meditation of a yogi is sattvic. That means balanced, pure. It doesn't cause excitement. It doesn't cause disturbance. It doesn't cause imbalance in the mind or in the body. It increases a capacity meditate on higher things to obtain peace, bliss, and happiness. And some of those higher things, spiritual things or supportive things, might be mantra, or reading scripture, or sitting with a teacher, or simply being in that space of self-investigation. Chanting, dancing. So I invite you to notice for yourself when you're getting caught in those disturbing, absorbing, consuming thought patterns that are simply part of the mental activity of mind, and see if you can just put your attention somewhere else, maybe looking at a flower or a tree, watching the sun or the moon, and allow that to be your meditation. So as we're on our mat this morning, the invitation is for you to bring attention to what's happening here and now. So the thoughts tend to be about the future or the past, either something that has happened or something that you're anticipating. Here and now allows us to be connected to sensation, to breath. So in our Hatha yoga practice this morning, let's just simply pay attention to what it feels like to be in the body. Let's notice what it feels like to be in the breath. Let's notice what it feels like to be steady, to be balanced, to be sattvic. And so just allowing your attention now to turn inward. Just noticing the ebb and the flow of your own breath. Noticing the breath almost as if you're filling up a bucket, and allow it to rise up through the body. And then on the exhalation, like you're emptying that bucket, pouring all the water out. And again, just notice what it feels like to have your attention on the breath, simply on the breath. Meditating on the breath, not the thoughts about the breath, just simply the breath. The way it feels, what you notice. Now bring your complete undivided attention to the palms of the hands. And notice how, shifting your attention to the palms of the hands, there may even be a subtle shift in energy in the palms. The palms may feel a slight throbbing or heat, simply by shifting your attention and now meditating on the hands. Whatever position they're in, just noticing that. And then just allow the hands to begin to find their way towards the center of the chest. And as they're moving through space, notice the changing, shifting sensations all along the way. And as you place your hands over the center of the chest, notice if you can feel the blend now of the hands and the breath. Maybe you can notice the breath and then some heat from the hands. Now with the next out breath, allow the sound of Om to escape from your body. Let's chant that 2 more times and just notice the connection, the hands to the breath and to the vocal cords, to the vibrational impact of the sound. Just rest with that vibration, the heat, the spaciousness, or whatever you're noticing. And then slowly allow the hands to begin to find their way back down to your lap. And we're just simply going to bring the chin towards the chest. And then rolling your head towards the right side. And then exhaling back down. Slowly moving the chin now towards the chest and then rolling the left ear towards the left shoulder. exhaling back into center. Right ear, right shoulder. And just finding your way back and forth. Noticing if there's any tenderness or holding through the neck. And eventually finding your chin back towards your chest. And we're going to lift the chin up towards the ceiling, extend through the sternum, and back down. Inhaling back up. And then back down. And one more time. And then just let the jaw drop if you hold here. And then coming back into center. Let's take the arms around behind the back and draw the shoulder blades together. And extending through the sternum and just gently rock from side to side. Let's lift the arms a little bit, kind of lifting them from the bottom upwards. Just a little movement, maybe about 3 or 4 inches, depending on what your range of motion is. That's it. And then we'll release. I'm going to bring that right arm across the body, hook it with the left, draw it around to the side, just turn a little bit. Just turning a little bit of a twist. And then coming back through center, hook the arm again, the left arm now, and twisting a little bit to the other side, the right side. And then back in through center. Hands on the knees. We're just going to circle the torso a little bit just to wake up the lumbar spine before we begin to find our way to table. Slowly moving, nice circles. Maybe try the other direction. Notice what that feels like as the body and the breath are moving together in perfect harmony. Good. And then one last movement before we transition. Just interlace the fingers and extend the arms out, kind of round the back. Sinking back as the hands are reaching towards me. That's it. I'm reaching towards you. You're reaching towards me. That's it. Good. Okay. And then let's take the hands up. Press the palms up towards the ceiling. Good. Beautiful. And we're going to stretch the arms out. Good. One more time, reach up and stretch the arms out. When you open up through the throat, the neck, the shoulders, it helps to open up the breathing space of the lungs. It helps to nourish the heart center. That's it, good. One more and then we will transition. Good. So go ahead and just fold forward. And as you're folding forward, you'll notice there's a little bit of space through the hips, through the lumbar spine. Let the head hang. Maybe just rocking a little bit right to left in this Sukhasana position. And then as you're ready, just begin to kind of slide forward and come onto your hands and knees. So that you find your way into table position. Your palms directly underneath your shoulders, your knees directly below your hips. And we're just going to begin to round the back body. Moving between cat and upward cat. Lifting the tailbone, extending through the crown. Pressing the floor away from you. Bring your attention to the spine. Notice the fluidity or maybe the areas where it feels tight or tender. Let's come back into that neutral table position. And then we're just going to walk the hands around to the right side and look over the right shoulder towards the hips. And then walking around to the left side and looking over the left shoulder to the left hip. This is called C-curve. So as you're moving back and forth, notice where you feel that slight restriction in the body. Notice what happens with your breath. And then eventually back into that neutral position, and then go ahead and tuck the toes under and press back into a downward facing dog. And so here in your downward facing dog, you're simply folding at the hip crease and allowing the spine to lengthen. You can walk the hands slightly forward towards the top of your mat to open the shoulders a touch. If you have any discomfort in your shoulders, you can always come down onto your knees into puppy pose, and I'll just demonstrate that for you. If you're in the full downward dog position, you can lift the right leg towards the ceiling and then bring it back down. Lift the left leg And bring it back down. Now we're just going to alternate side to side, lifting one leg at a time to open up the hips, to bring some synovial fluid into those joints, to kind of heat up the body. Good. The next time you lift your right leg up, just bring it behind the left into a cross. So like and we're just going to lift and lower the left heel. Lift and lower the left heel. That's it. And then we'll bring that right leg back to the floor, lift the left leg up, and then bring it behind the right, and then lift and lower just the right leg. Lifting the heel, just lifting the heel up and down. Good. Beautiful. Coming back into that neutral position. Okay, you can come down for a moment's rest. Walking the hands to the top of the mat, forehead towards the shin. Resting towards the floor. And as you're resting here in child's pose, you might notice a natural movement. Maybe the hands want to walk to one side or to the other. Maybe you find that one arm wants to come underneath. And there's some natural movements that will occur, so feel free to follow those implicitly without question. And then when you're ready, we'll find our way back into downward facing dog. From here, with the right leg extended, we're going to move into turning the leg, toes towards the right side. Now they're perpendicular. Okay. You can bring that right heel back to the opposite buttock and lift the knee towards the ceiling. We roll out that right ankle. If it feels natural, allow that right foot to travel behind you. Press through the left leg and extend out through the right arm. Okay. Arms overhead as well, whatever feels natural. And you can come back whenever you're ready. Coming back to that extended right leg towards the ceiling. Bring it back to the floor. Breathing here, feeling here, noticing sensation in the body. Staying anchored in breath, anchored in sensation. And then lifting the left leg. Turning the toes away, perpendicular. Bringing the heel back to the opposite buttock. And if it feels natural, allow that left leg to travel behind you. Extending through the hand towards the ceiling. Opening through the torso. And again, you're free to come back whenever you're ready. And either find your way into some complementary movement of child's pose, cat, or even a hanging forward bend. Giving yourself a few moments to be in that space of balance and harmony as you naturally attune to the innate wisdom of the body through the vehicle of the breath. As you're ready, we'll find our way towards a hanging forward bend if you're not there already. So in this hanging forward bend, you're going to shift the weight slightly forward in the balls of the feet. Bring the chest towards the thighs, forehead towards the shin. And you can either hold on to the elbows, and you can also wrap the forearms around behind the calves. Give your head a little nod and a little shake to release the neck. You may even want to step on your hands. That's kind of fun. I like that myself. You may even want to have your hands resting on the base of the skull to help lengthen the spine. Slowly releasing the arms, and just begin to roll up the spine. Paying close attention all along the way. As the body, the spine, the breath balance and harmonize, unfurl. So once you find yourself to the top of the mat, just allow yourself to be steady here, breathing fully. And then let's just breathe the arms all the way up overhead and exhale them back down. Scooping the arms forward and exhale back down. Kind of bend the knees, scooping the arms forward and let them come back down. Inhale, lift the arms up and exhale down to the side. 2 more times, just like that. Going with the rhythm of your own breath. One more time. This time, as you find your hands overhead, just go ahead and interlace the fingers. And we're going to press down through the left foot and arc the torso towards the right. Good. And then we'll press down through both feet. Inhale all the way back through center. And then hips to the right, extending the torso to the left. Good. Pressing down through both feet. Inhale back into center. Okay. We're going to press the hips forward, lift and extend through the sternum, out through the fingertips. And then coming back down, I'm going to have you step your feet apart. Nice and wide. And then allow the arms to come out to the side like this. Okay? Good. Nice, strong, kind of goddess or victory squat. Opening out through the hips, sinking into the sits bones. Nice, strong through the upper body. And just notice where your attention is. That is the meditation that we were pointing to at the beginning. What are you focusing on? Can you be in the body with sensations in the breath? Or are you finding yourself drawn into something else that happened yesterday or maybe might be happening today? Let's press to the feet. Inhale, extend the arms out to the side. Turn the feet so they're now parallel to one another. 5-pointed start. And feel the openness through the heart center, out through the fingertips. Let the shoulders relax. Beautiful. We're going to pivot on our right foot. Okay? And the left heel is going to go to the side a little bit. Left toe is coming in. Moving into triangle. So the hips are going to go left, fingertips to the right. That's it. Good. And then we're going to rotate. The right hand is going to come down to the inner thigh or inner calf, and the left hand is extending up. If you have the range of motion in your neck, you can look towards the left hand. You can also bring that left hand behind the back to help stabilize this position. Okay. Good. Now we're going to rotate towards the left leg. Walk that left foot over just a touch. Hips are squared, and you're just going to fold to where you can hold yourself. Okay. So maybe you can find your way all the way to the floor, or maybe the floor is a bit far. If you have a support nearby, you can use a blanket or a block. And now go ahead and sink into a runner's lunge, bringing that left leg back, right into a runner's lunge. Good. Extending forward, sternum and crown. Beautiful. Now, I'm going to switch this up. I want you to step your right foot back into plank position. And then we're going to bring the knees to the floor, fold back in child's pose. Forehead to the floor. Then we're going to scoop the sternum through to the thumbs and then up into upward facing dog. Beautiful. And then folding back into downward dog. Lift the right leg towards the ceiling. Turn the hip, open the leg. Bring that right heel back to the opposite buttock. And then we're going to step the right foot to the top of the mat again. Beautiful. Now we're pivoting so that you're now bent. Right leg is bent. Left leg is straight. You're in a side lunge. Good. You got this. And now we're going to bring both feet together into a squat. Dropping through the sits bones, extending through the crown. If for some reason your feet don't find their way to the floor like mine, then you can tuck a blanket or a block underneath them. It's helpful for those ankles and the Achilles tendon. Sinking through the sits bones, extend through the crown. Now we're going to bring the hands to the floor. Stretch out to the other side. That's it. You got that, Valerie. Good. And then we're going to turn all the way around, back into the runner's lunge on the left side. Sinking the hips. Extend forward through the sternum. And then step the left leg back into plank for the vinyasa on the other side. Bring the knees to the floor, fold back, child's pose. And then inhale, sliding the sternum forward, pressing to the tops of the feet, lifting out through the sternum and the crown. And then folding back, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg, turn the toes, bring the heel back to the opposite buttock, and then step the left foot again to the top of the mat for runner's lunge. Step the right foot a little closer in preparation for a straight-legged runner stretch. Folding at the hips, forehead towards the shin. Heels lined up, but about a hip width apart. And then reposition that right foot so now it's directly behind the left, kind of perpendicular. And you're going to lift yourself up in preparation for triangle. Okay? You're just lifting yourself up halfway. That left hand is going to come to the inside of the left shin, and the right arm will extend up. See if you can create a nice straight line here on the right side, and it helps sometimes to bring the right hand around behind the back. That's it. Noticing what you're meditating on now. Where is your attention? Good. Press through the feet, lift up. 5-minute start. A nice deep victory squat. Good. And then we're going to step the feet together. Half moon to the left, pressing through the right foot, extending the torso to the left side, and then pressing through both feet. Inhale through center, to the right side, and pressing both. Back to neutral, press the hips forward, lift and extend the sternum. And then allow the forearms to extend out, coming into a full forward fold, wrapping the forearms around behind the calves, forehead to the shin. Releasing the arms, rolling up. Arms to the side, eyes closed. And just breathing, noticing what's arising now. Relaxing into the flood of sensations in the body, and the wave as it moves through you. Beautiful. Now releasing the arms. From the top of your mat, we're going to lift the right leg and stretch that right leg back. And moving into warrior lunge. That's it. Left knee directly over left ankle. Okay. And then coming to that nice, steady, balanced position. We'll extend the arms out to the side. We're going to turn the palms. And we'll bring the arms all the way up. Interlace the fingers if that's available, and as you press back through that right foot, extend through the sternum, out through the fingertips. Beautiful. Nice steady position here with breath. And then as you're ready to come out, let your body respond immediately without question to any balancing movement that arises. Maybe you're drawn to a forward bend. Maybe you're simply drawn to stillness. Whatever arises. And again, you're going to feel a natural completion to that wave of sensation. When that wave does come to completion, you find your way back to a standing position, eyes closed, resting here in the second half of the posture. Observing, noticing your attention on what you're meditating on. Where is your attention drawn? Noticing that. opening the gaze. Preparation for the other side. Okay, we'll lift the right leg and step the right leg. Sorry, lift the left leg and step the left leg back. Hips are level. Right knee directly over right ankle. I'm going to inhale the arms out to the side, turn the palms, and bring them alongside the ears. And extending through the sternum out through the fingertips, out through the crown of the head. Nice steady position. Again, just notice where your attention is drawn. Are you finding yourself a little disturbed by something? Can you just anchor in the felt sensation of the body and the breath without needing it to be any different? And then bringing the hands back down, stepping the feet to the top of the mat again. If there's any complementary movement that arises naturally, again, just follow it implicitly without question. It doesn't need to look like anything. Just simply allow yourself to feel what's arising. And you'll notice it'll come to a natural kind of sense of completion. And then as that wave does begin to subside, just allow yourself to come back to a neutral place, feeling the release of sensations in the body, the balancing, harmonizing effect. And then allow your attention to be drawn upwards, right to the spot between the eyebrows, the third eye center. And then as you're ready, opening your eyes, let's bring the feet a little closer together. I invite you to inhale the hands to shoulder levels. You're going to sit back in an imaginary chair. Okay. And turn just so you can see. You want the tailbone to kind of drop. Okay. So you're not arching the back and you're not collapsed. You're just kind of sitting back, straight back chair, straight back. The weight's back through the heels. You can even lift your toes off the floor so you know that you're steady there. Good. Lots of heat being built. Notice here is a really good place to notice where your attention is being captivated. Maybe you're thinking, how long is this going to last? And that's what you're meditating on. So see if you can shift your attention to not what you're anticipating, but actually what's happening right now. Beautiful. And then press down to the feet. Inhale, come up. Arms to the side again. Just let go into that release sensation in the body. Being absolutely still. Breathing fully. Beautiful. And then as you're ready, opening the gaze. We're going to move into a balancing pose, Eagle Garudasana. You bring the feet right together and you want your knees to be resting together. Your legs are one unit. Okay? I'm going to give you stages. Right? So the first stage is the right leg comes right over the left. Okay? You can bring the large toe to the floor. Now, I know some of you maybe just crossing the legs is enough, and that's perfectly fine. So this would be stage 1. Okay? Bending the knees, crossing the right leg over would be stage 2. Okay? And then if it's in your range of motion without torquing the knee, you could wrap that right foot around behind. Okay? So for me today, I'm just going to be right here. I want my hips to be level. Okay? And then I'm going to extend the arms out to the side. Good. And then I'm going to bring the left arm in front and the right arm on top. Okay? For those of you that are just crossing your legs, maybe, or crossing your legs, maybe this is your eagle. For those of you that are bent-kneed, sitting in that imaginary chair, maybe you're going to fold at the elbows and lift the fingertips up, wrapping the forearms, thumbs towards the head. Okay? But if that doesn't work for you, you can still do this option. Okay? There's always an option. Right? So just notice where your attention is. Notice if you're focusing on what you can't do, or if you're bringing your attention to what is happening, and just be with that. Feel the sensations of the breath in the body. Allow that to be your meditation. Balance and harmony. As you're ready to release, you can release the arms, untangle the legs. This is the eagle pose, so breathe the arms all the way overhead, like your wings to fly. And then prepare for the other side. As you bring the hands down, find the right leg positioning for you this morning. Maybe it's just straight-legged cross, maybe the legs are bent, knees together. The opposite arm in front now, crossing them over top, either here or winding them, lifting up. Okay? Even if the palms don't touch, you can try the backs of the hands too. It's another option. Remember not to be in struggle or strain, trying to make anything happen. Beautiful, and as you're ready, releasing the arms, the legs. Again, breathe the arms up. Nice big circle, those beautiful wings spreading for flight. And then we're going to take them around behind the back. Moving towards a standing yoga mudra. Interlace the fingers. And again, I'm going to give you some options. So you can either interlace the fingers like this. If that's not in your range of motion, you can bring the hand onto the back like this. The other option would be holding onto the elbows like this. Wherever you find yourself, you can part your feet a little bit. And then allow yourself to begin to fold forward. And as you fold, if you have your hands interlaced, maybe they come off the back. As you extend into the standing yoga mudra. If they're just palms down on your back, see if you can bring the elbows a little closer together. And if you're holding on to your wrists or your elbows, you're just allowing the hands to rest back there, elbows again, shoulder blades moving towards one another. Check your head, give it a little nod and a shake. And when you're complete, you can bring the hands down to the floor like empty coat sleeves. And then eventually lowering yourself down into a squat. You can either have your hips open, your knees apart, or you can have your knees like parallel to one another, just in a little squat where you're just kind of hanging. Letting your head go. And whatever feels more supportive for your body. As you're ready, begin to find your way coming onto your seat. You can also come into a kneeling position, seated hero's pose. Close the eyes, rest the hands on the lap or thighs, and just be still. Keeping your attention on breath. And the breath is the vehicle between the body and the mind. It's the bridge. And then slowly begin to transition yourself onto your bottom. You're going to extend the legs out in front. And pressing out through the toes. We're going to bring the right foot over top of the left for a little bit of a spinal twist. I'm going to wrap the left arm around the right knee. And then I like to extend my right arm just to anchor in through the right sits bones and extend through the right fingertips, and then bring that right hand to shoulder level. And I'm going to brush the horizon and notice where my body wants to naturally stop. And then once I've gotten to that stop point, I'm just going to walk my right hand as close towards my back as possible. Pressing down through the sits bones, extending through the crown, and allow my body to rotate just a little bit more if there's space. As the knees being drawn towards the chest, and I'm extending through the sternum. Full, complete breath. Relax. And be still. Just notice where your attention is. Sweep the horizon, come back into that neutral position. I'm just going to get you to rock out that right hip a little bit, okay? Just rocking out that right leg a little bit. Good. And then just bring that right foot to the inner thigh. And let that right leg drop open. Okay? If you need to prop it with something, you can tuck a little blanket or block underneath it. The toes are still lifted towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale the hands to shoulder level, kind of like Frankenstein. And you're just going to fold forward, kind of extending forward, okay? There we go. Again, you're going to feel that natural stop point in the back or maybe the hamstring, and you're just going to bring the hands down to the floor. As you bring the hands down to the floor, press through the sits bones, extend through the crown. Again, there may be a little more space, and then just allow yourself to fold forehead towards the shin. Maintaining that nice forward fold, and scanning the body for any areas of tension or holding. And see if you can soften a little bit, letting go. Without the need to manage or control, again, just notice what you're meditating on. And staying attuned to those higher purposes, breath, openness, balance, and harmony. And then extending the arms in front, lift yourself all the way up again. And bring the hands back down through center. We'll stretch the right foot out. We're going to bring the left foot over this time for the spinal twist on the other side. Again, that right toes are extended towards the ceiling. We're going to wrap the right arm around the left leg. Extend the left arm up. Pressing through the sits bones, extending through the left fingertips, and then bring the left hand to shoulder level. Sweep the horizon, follow it slowly all the way around until you feel that natural stop point. Then walk the hand close in towards the back body. Let the left shoulder roll back. Sternum come towards the knee towards the sternum. If it's available, taking the gaze over the left shoulder. That's it. Once you're in the pose, you're there. You don't have to do anything else. Just simply breathe and relax. And slowly release that left arm, follow it around with your gaze again. Meditation in motion. And then we'll bring that left leg up, just rock it a bit back and forth again. Some heat may have been released through the spine. And we're going to bring that left foot to the inside of the right leg. And same thing, we're going to extend the hands in front. Follow it like Frankenstein until you feel a little bit of kind of contraction in the back body, and then bring the hands down to the mat. Press into the seat, extend through the crown if there's a little more space. And then when you feel complete, just let your head kind of fold towards the extended right leg. Nice, steady breath. Again, just what are you putting your attention to? Noticing what you're meditating on. Is it moving you closer to source or further away from source? Do you feel more balanced or less balanced? Just notice what's arising. And then slowly finding your way back up. Notice as you come up, there's just maybe a natural balancing movement that arises. Just feel free to follow that instinctively without question. That is your body and your breath finding its way to balance. Notice how it kind of takes precedence over the mind. Gradually, when that has come to completion, just notice how you naturally drop into stillness. Like a drop of water merging with a pool. Now begin to find your way towards a position lying on your back. We're going to finish with bridge and fish pose. before we rest in Shavasana. So most of you are familiar with bridge, but I will demonstrate it just in case it's not completely clear for you. So I'm going to lay back. Hopefully you can see me okay. My feet are flat on the floor, my arms are alongside the body. I'm going to walk the feet in and just press the feet into the floor, lift the hips. I'm going to find that natural position where my body says stop, and then I'm going to take my fingers underneath my back. I'm going to press to the right foot and roll my right shoulder under. Press to the left foot and roll my left shoulder under. Notice that there's a little more height in my body now, just naturally. And I just come to a steady position. I'm pressing through my feet, pressing down through my triceps, base of the skull, while I'm extending through the pelvis, through the sternum. My chin is moving towards my chest, and my chest is moving towards my chin. Good. While you're here, some of you may want to try an extended leg bridge. And then as you come out, I'm just rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Allow yourself to be in the full release. Maybe you bring the knees to the chest. And then to finish with fish, we'll bring the hands underneath the bottom, palms down. So I'm putting my palms down, tucking the right hand underneath the right buttock, and then the left hand underneath the left buttock. I'm going to straighten my legs. I'm going to press into the palms and the forearms, lift myself up. Okay, press out through the feet, and then slide my torso over my hands and my forearms. Opening through the throat, bringing the crown of the head towards the floor. Now, for some reason you find that's not working for you today, you can try a folded blanket. It gives you another kind of way to experience this, and fold it widthways across the mat. Lay back, look for arms out to the side this time. So that it comes right in the space between the shoulder blades. Good. And when you feel complete with that, you can find your way back, laying on the mat, eyes closed. If there's any last movements that you feel drawn to, just take a moment to do that. And setting yourself up for a little bit of rest in Shavasana. I'm always amazed at how quickly these classes go. It's always a blessing to be with you. So as you feel yourself sinking into the earth, allow your legs and your pelvis, all your organs, your spine, your lungs, your shoulders, the arms, everything to just let go. The head, the brain, resting back in the skull. eyes resting in their deep cone-like sockets. Just let go. And feel the natural breath moving through the body. Easily, effortlessly, timelessly. The whole body being breathed. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Feel yourself just expanding. As all the tension from the body, from the mind, drops away, melts and dissolves into the ocean. The ocean of oneness. And as you're ready, allow yourself to begin to rise again to the surface of awareness. And feel the fingers, the toes, the arms, and the legs. Rolling over onto the right side and just feel yourself held here in the womb of existence. Nurtured. And then begin to transition to an upright seated position, allowing yourself to remain anchored in this deep experience. So you begin to bring a portion of yourself back into the room. Notice how balanced you feel. Notice how calm and quiet you feel. Notice the evenness of mind, purity in the body, the breath, clarity. Allow your hands to find their way to the center of the chest, either in prayer position or just simply connecting to the heart and the breath space. And with gratitude, devotion for this opportunity to be nourished, connected, and to know the truth of who you are. Let's chant the sound of Om together, the very first sound that ever moved from vibration. Take a deep breath in. Have a beautiful day. I invite you to carry this touchstone with you throughout until we meet again in Jai Bhagwan.